Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a little something related to Valentine's, and I purchased these molds, these 3 molds from Shop Resin or Shop Resin Molds, and I am going to use some of these pigment powders that I purchased from Amazon. They are a Let's Resin product, and they are a chameleon powder, and I'm just taking a soft makeup brush and I am painting it onto the mold. There is a area in the mold that represents the geode, and so it'll leave little markings on when it's demolded to show the sparkle of a geode. All right, so I just used more of the a pinkish chameleon, and this one's more of a purpley chameleon or a violet chameleon. It's kind of hard for me to read those labels. They're written in black ink, so I can't give you the exact colors, but they have several different types. Just look on Amazon for the Let's Resin chameleon, and they will pop up. I'm also using a very fine shimmery glitter. I believe I'll have to look that up and let you know where I got it from. But it matches the violet chameleon powder very well. And I just dusted around the little geode area there where I wanted a little bit more sparkle. So now I'm just mixing up my Artistry Epoxy. Well, I've already mixed it. I'm just blending in some micas, and I'm using Interference Blue. And that came from Laura's Art Corner. This is one of Laura's pigments here, pigment powders, and it is Cherry Blossom. It's a very soft pink color. And I'm just mixing very small quantities. Guys, this is just a really quick video, just to do something fun. All right. This is a Resin product. I got it from Laura's Art Corner. This is port wine. It's a very deep, rich wine color. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to make an abstract art piece with this color. I'm just putting some clear into the mold on top of the chameleon powders that I've sprinkled in there. Now guys, those are going to be the main effect of these. If you wanted more of just a specific one of these colors, then you don't want to put the chameleon in there. But I wanted to start with the chameleons and kind of see where these took me. The chameleons do very beautiful on a very dark background, especially black. But what I'm doing is just alternating with the colors, the port wine, and I'm going to mix up a little bit of this beautiful magenta from Color Joy at Dryer Days Art Studio. But I'm just intermixing some of the interference, some of the cherry blossom, the port wine, and now the magenta. And I'm just using some of that that pinky red chameleon powder again on top of inside of the mold, and then I'm putting in some clear and then a little bit of magenta in that one. Two of these molds are pretty similar. And one is more different than the other. I guess that makes sense when you have 3 molds. I apologize for being off shot here, off screen. I'm basically just doing what I've already done with the other ones. I'm painting in my color and possibly a little bit of glitter on this one, if I can remember correctly. Yep, there we go. So that's all I did there. Now I've just added some of that magenta, port wine, and interference. Now because these molds are small, it doesn't take much, especially with the interference. A little bit of the interference goes a very, very long way. I mixed up way more than I should have, but I have another project over on my sidelines that I'm using it for. But I'm glad that I used it, especially on the one that I'm doing right there. It turned out so pretty, and I can't wait to show y'all how that one turned out. So I've got this on hyperlapse because there's, you know, this is pretty basic at this point. You guys have seen me do, you know, your typical resin projects in the past, but I wanted to make you aware of these products that are out there and how I've used them here. You can find my link to the Artistry Epoxy. It's a very, very good high heat tolerance, 0 VOC resin. And in my description, if you're interested in that. And as always, I will do my best to link the products that I'm using down in the description as well. Those products, these other products that I'm listing, other than Dryer Days and Artistry Epoxy, I am not affiliates to. I do not get any payback or anything like that for any of those products. Artistry Epoxy and Dryer Days Art Studio, I'm both affiliates for. You can either go through my links or my code, or you don't have to. It's up to you. I don't try to push my code on any of my followers whatsoever. But they are good products. I would not agree to advertising for these products if I didn't feel like they were excellent products. I have found the Artistry Epoxy that I'm using to have 0 odor whatsoever. All right, and I'm just going to try to get all those bubbles and stuff out. Okay, actually I decided to mix up a little bit of the white pinata, the Blanca Blanca pinata. It's just a very, very small amount, and I have it on a small little stick that I'm kind of swirling in. You need to be careful not to scrape your mold. You don't want to scratch your mold because it will show in every one of your products, so be careful there. So a very, very tiny amount of my Blanca Blanca, and just swirled it in and around. A little spritz with my alcohol, and then I will just continue to watch those for any bubbles rising. I had 0 bubbles, at the end of this. And here I am later on in the evening, and it's probably been about 6 or 7 hours since I've checked it, and it is hard and ready to unmold. Guys, make sure that you're wearing your gloves when you're handling your epoxy, your new freshly unmolded epoxy. You don't want to try to keep your fingerprints off of it, because it generally will take a little while for your projects to cure completely, and you don't want to leave any of your fingerprints on your pieces. These unmolded very nicely. These are pretty good quality molds. And there's the first one. Now these don't have, there's an indentation on the top, but it's more of a soft heart, so it doesn't have a deep groove there to indicate, you know, you can see it there. It's more of a softly made heart shape. Okay. I think next time I'll stick without using the chameleons on these. I think I would really like to see one in that port wine, and maybe one with just the interference. I think that one would be pretty. Look at this one though. This one is so super pretty. I love the way this one turned out. You can really see the interference as I kind of turn, in all of the different colors that I used. I just love this one. This one is more heart shaped, and I really like that about this one. This is the first time I'm using these molds, and I really enjoyed it and had fun. Very simple, especially with the Artistry Epoxy, guys, because they're ready to unmold pretty quickly. I can go, and this is not their fast set either. This was their art and tumbler epoxy that I'm using here. And if you're a tumbler maker, or if you like to make a lot of things that are going to require some heat resistance, these are heat resistant up to 500 degrees. So not that I would need it for my hearts, but for any projects that you're doing, such as charcuterie, your coasters, trays, that type of thing. So there we are. And I'm going to just kind of play around here in just a bit after I'm finished showing you how these turned out. And we're going to make a few things with them. I apologize, guys. I have got indoor allergies going on. It's something I get every single year. It's once I turn the heat on in my house, my nose just starts getting stuffy. Love it. All right, so I'm just going to use a little bit of my UV resin, and this is just an inexpensive UV resin that I purchased. Gosh, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've purchased this. It's lasted me a long time. I'm not even sure if it's still good anymore, but it works, and I'm not really worried about it. I'm only using just a small little dab, and I'm putting my bale on the back of a larger size bale on the back of it, and I am just using my my UV LED light to secure that on with the UV resin. And it's just a drop. I'm telling you, even a drop is too much. And I like to put it through a couple of times to make sure. So it's about 3 or 4 minutes, and it's on there pretty securely. Okay. You definitely want to make sure that when you're handling this raw resin that you have your gloves on and you're using your PPE. All right, so I'm just taking a jump ring and I'm securing it onto the heart and the bail and putting my chain through. And then I purchased these. I've had these forever. They're little rose stems, and they probably could be an earring set, but I'm splitting them apart and I'm adding them to these necklaces as charms on the side that I'm making here. Very simple to do, except for if you have my fingers and hands that I keep fumbling with. And you're just making sure that jump ring is completely secure so that nothing gets lost. And I have about an 18-inch chain, and I'll get a good picture, a better picture of it at the end here. And now I have an 30-inch silver chain here. And I'm putting that right on through that bail. And then I'm going to take a silver jump ring and add it as well. And I have this little pretty key, my little silver jump ring. And so I'm going to add the jump ring onto the bail as well as my key. I either got these charms from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Guys, it's been so long ago, I don't really remember which one of those places I got it, but it would have come from either one of their jewelry and their bead aisles. But they've got lots and lots of pretty choices that you can choose to make it as well. This one was a bit of a struggle for me because it the bail on the lock was, or the key was, a little bit larger. All right, and now I have this other one, and I've decided that I wanted to do something other than a necklace, and I decided to make this more of a keychain or something that you could use like on a lanyard or a pocketbook, any of that. And I'm going to use my other rose charm for that one. And in the end, here you go. And this is what they're looking like. And I'll show you a few pictures here. It's hard to hold a camera and put your hand where you need it to be. I think this one here is my favorite. I just love the depth on it. And I really just went in with and added, just used my popsicle stick and added a little bit of color, a little bit at a time, and then used that white to kind of swirl it around. And that's how I did these. And there's no magic to it at all. Here is that 30-inch necklace with that pretty key. And here's my little keychain. And there you can see how the inside of that sparkles. And guys, you can take these even a step further and add more embellishment, especially to the inside. It would be really, really pretty, actually. I might do that. But these were a quick little project. I hope you enjoyed it. And here are some beautiful pictures of these keychains and lockets that I made. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.